show. Say hi to YouTube.
What up, Tube?
What up, Tube?
Everybody?
Alrighty, and last but certainly not least, give him the rundown.
Give him the rundown.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's rock it and roll it
Yeah,
in
let's do
3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. They went low. They went low.
They went low. Business Bros.
I love it.
What up, ladies and gents? Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
The insurance bro, James Cias, and as always, another amazing, awesome, fun, inevitably wonderful show for you all today. Guys, check out today's guests. We got Lije Dubz, a.k.a. Ian J., a couple of emerging local hip-hop artists right here in San Diego. Be the first to hear their story and find them on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Pandora. Welcome to the show, John and Elijah.
Thank you.
What's up, boys?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Dude, I'm anxious to tell our audience because they're like, wait, you got rappers on the show? Wait, how did this happen?
Yeah, man, totally.
Wait, what happened? But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, 365 pairs of shoes is what we're shooting for. So if you have new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. He'll hop on that orange Harley right out there, pick up those shoes. 37 pairs is the most he's picked up on one shoe drive. So if you guys got more than that, I'd love to see him stick those in the saddlebag and bring them home. So thank you guys very much for all the donations we've had and all the donations we're going to have. And let's get on with the program. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, tell the lovely audience where we actually met and what you guys do before we get into the
Who are
hip-hop
you
stage.
asking first? Because it'd be down difficult. So you asking me? Or
Yeah, let's go with you.
All right. Well, my name is Dubz Barger. I go. That's my hip hop name. We met this guy over there at the what was it?
The Real Estate Expo.
The Real Estate Expo. That's right. So we do plumbing for a living. I do plumbing for a living. My father owned a plumbing company. He recently passed away 2 years ago. Once he did, I had taken it over with my family. So that's my 9 to 5 day grind. That's what I do. And when I clock out, when I come home, I make music with my brother here. And that's just kind of our way to escape. That's just kind of our way to just kind of zone out and just be free.
Dude, everybody has multiple things that they do in life. Like, we're not all just one tool.
Most definitely.
Right?
I mean, that's why it's like, to me, like, I'm not just a rapper. Like, I like to look at myself as like an artist and then like a growing musician, because I'm learning to play instruments. I'm learning to do stuff, all this for my passion and what I want to do. So I think growth and just being confined by one word is not necessarily always what finds me.
Not at all. So, are you guys like actual brothers or?
No.
Okay.
Resemblance?
No, well, I didn't know for sure. You never know these days, right?
Come on.
Yeah.
So tell me, how'd you guys end up meeting? Like, how did that whole thing square away?
So we had some mutual friends, and then just realizing when you kind of weed out the fakes, realizing who was actually real, who was down for you. And it was funny, we never really were cool, but then we started hanging out a little bit more, and then shit just came up, realizing what people could do, people that do call yourselves brother and family can do behind your back.
Mm-hmm.
My brother over here brought it to light, and since then we just been close. It's been about a year or so, a little bit more than that, like maybe a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
And just been making a lot of music together. Just families are close, and I consider this like my blood brother right here. So.
Are you a plumber too?
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got like Mario and Luigi, dude. Except instead of making pasta, they're making some art.
He said Mario and Luigi.
I had to, dude.
Hey, it's perfect.
plumbing.
Mario, I'm Luigi.
Dude, absolutely. I was thinking the same thing.
It's perfect. Hey, it works out. That's fine.
right.
That's
Dude,
fine. It's gonna be an album cover too.
I was gonna say
guys.
that. Yeah, right. That's gonna happen.
Appreciate the idea.
Right. So tell me a little bit, like, what's it like being a plumber, and then how do you switch off that hat and then put on the hip hop hat?
You kind of don't, unfortunately. I mean, like, it's for me, like, in a position where even for him too, like, we're a small based company, so really it's always on our mind. It's always like what we got to do. I mean, I'm sure he can probably explain it too as well, but it's one of those things that you can't really kind of ever turn off of.
Yeah. Well, what you're talking about being in business?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
both. But like
Yeah.
having like to do like the whole like being in the plumbing in this industry, like what we do in that line of work, and then coming home and still trying to do both, like it still overlaps so much.
So since you can't turn it off, you just use that hustle, that grind, knowing that you got to get shit done, knowing that when you hop in the booth, you got to get shit done still.
Right.
It's just because we not at that job, we still at this job. We still clocking in and clocking out, but putting in work nonetheless.
So what's the idea? What's the goal here when it comes to the plumbing company and the side hustle? Which one would you rather see take off? Which one, you know,
Music.
what? Yeah, which one are you? 100%.
Music, yeah, for sure, absolutely. Music's passion. Music's what makes me me. Music makes me what, like, the good person who I am. So that's music would be what I want to go. I mean, I love working my hands, but I feel like my passion is music.
So tell me a little bit about
Likewise.
yeah, I'm sure. Right? He's like, no, music, my thing.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the business itself. How, you know, what was it like growing up in that kind of industry and then having to take it over?
Just growing up, always like with my dad, like having to go on, you know, calls with him and seeing like how he would handle with customers, and, you know, and really like be the face of the company. So even though he would not want to go and do certain things, he would still go and do them regardless, because it's principle. My father always told me it's principle. So, you know, I think it's always really kind of like made a big, you know, impact on my life of who I turned out to be. Just because I keep that same kind of mentality with what you do, whether it be music or whether it be with the same company that we're doing now. It's same thing.
And you said you said you were smaller base, right?
Yeah. So again, it's just myself and him working for us, and we have one other employee, more like the supervisor, Jay. He's my dad's best friend since high school, and he's been with us since for, you know, over 30 years. So technically, he's our supervisor, teaching us how to become better plumbers. And in the meantime, I'm trying to like run a company and still be doing that role all together.
Dude, that's kind of a lot. When your dad passed, was it like a difficult transition for you to take over?
Well, I mean, the whole like things just more awoke. Like things just became more real. Like when he was sick and doing the whole cancer thing, like we were like, he was teaching me and like training me how to do some things. So it was more of like, saying, hey, like once I'm gone, this is really gonna be all up to you. Can you handle it? And I mean, the transition was fine. It wasn't anything that, you know, we kind of got me off track a little bit, but you know, we're on board now. And again, I have a good brother here who I could really lean on and really kind of put some pressure on too. And he could still saw it and be like, yo, bro, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't be doing things like that, and kind of ground me, bring me back to where, you know, it's like more like a realization. So it's beyond just the plumbing. It's like the music and how our friendship is and with the family. And I feel like what we got here is like nonetheless nothing that's never been in this industry before, plumbing and music.
What's it been like being there to like support him? Like, I mean, losing a family member is tough. I mean, as it is, just that alone, right? And on top of that, now he's got to run a business, make sure payroll's made, make sure, you know, bills are paid, make sure there's more business lined up. What's it like being, you know, right next to him, seeing that whole thing happen?
I mean, it's a blessing, you know. It's love. I consider him family, so it's like I would do all the things that I'm doing and be here, try to be as open and support for my family members. So do the same for him. Obviously there's stress involved, you know, it's busy all the time, but I mean, it's a part of life, and it molds you, you know, it helps you grow. So I look at it as a blessing, because every life lesson is a blessing.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the music though, because that's always the fun part, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. When we first started like doing the podcast thing, I had no idea how this stuff works, right? I mean, I barely knew how to plug in a microphone, much less like put anything out of value of content, any type of content of value. So like I literally had to learn everything from scratch. Everything, the name Business Bros just came because I was filling out the application on iTunes and it said, "What's your podcast name?" I was like, I don't know, dude. I asked him. He's like, "I don't know. We're in business. We're brothers. Call it Business Bros." Oh, okay, cool. There you go. That was the name, right? And like that's how we just kind of progressively did it, just to get started.
Right.
And then as we got people on the show, it got a little bit better. We learned a little bit more. They said you should use this piece of equipment, you should use Sling Studio, and it got better and better, right? Yeah. What was it like for you guys? Like, when did you just decide, like, all right, we're gonna make music, or were you doing it independently and then you kind of got together? Like, how was that like? What was that like?
Yeah, so we already made music individually before. Like I said, we had acquaintances that we were like that's how we met, through other friends, and kind of made music with them. I never really took it seriously, but old boy over here, you know, I seen him doing his thing. He's a couple of years older than me. Seen him doing his thing. Well, by the time we linked up, obviously we already knew that we made music. There was sometimes when we sometimes make music, so we already knew that I liked rapping and he liked rapping. We were like, okay, so why not make music together?
Yeah.
what's that process like? Like I told you guys, you know, the audience kind of knows and doesn't really know. Like I mean, they know because I've done a couple parodies already. I did some corny ones already, but I was telling you guys before the show that I'm doing the newest one. It's gonna be on Solar, and it's using Nelly's Hot in Here, right?
I want to see that.
And
That's
so,
pretty good.
like, but for me, the creative process is like, okay, I got this idea. I want to use this Solar company. They're one of our sponsors. I want to create a fun piece that people would like to watch and share, right? And so, and I pick a song. I'm like, AC is the first thing I think about when I think about Solar. I can turn my AC on.
Right.
So that song came on, and I was like, all right, cool. And I just kind of listen to it over and over, and I kind of get ideas, and then I just start writing some stuff out, and it just comes out, right? But I kind of mirror that rapper's style. Like, that's one of the things that I like to do is, like, whoever the artist I pick up, I want to mirror the same style.
Yeah.
So, but you guys are doing it your own way.
Trying
To, right?
But we still get inspired from, you know, artists who are already out there, like Nipsey. We were actually just playing Nipsey on the way here. Like, Nipsey's a huge inspiration on, I could say, both of our lives.
Yeah, damn right.
So yeah, we definitely look up to artists like that.
Yeah, I mean, the process is similar to like what you said, you know, going it over again, and you know, you find an idea, you want to stick to it, but and you find your sound, whether it be a whole nother rapper or just your sound, just
Right.
Mhm.
What works for you?
yeah, you let it kind of just let it out. And I mean, the thought process is always, you know, you want to make it fun for others, like you said, but the first and foremost is you are expressing yourself.
Right.
So you're getting all your emotions out, and I mean, excuse my language, but not giving a fuck what anybody thinks, but still kind of trying to keep that in the back of the head at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what
Can
you
we
mean.
cuss on here?
Yeah, you can.
All right,
That's fine.
cool.
So no, it's
My
it's fine.
apologies.
No, it's funny you say that because I've done parodies and they're always about like business, whatever. And this one was directly about the solar company, right? Because I partnered with them as they're one of our sponsors. I want to make sure we do something fun.
Right.
And so I was telling the wife, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna sound like you sold out." I'm like, I don't care what that. That's the whole point. Is I'm in business to make money for people,
Yeah,
right?
that's
That's
not
kind of
selling out.
that's exactly what I'm doing. So if I make a song and it's fun and it's about this company, they're going to get more clicks. They're going to get more likes. They're going to get more attention. That's exactly my intention.
Right.
So, you know, but I did want it to be fun. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I did making fun of some stupid stuff, having AC and riding a Tesla and doing all kinds of weird shit. But anyways, so when you guys finally decided to like make something together, right? Did you guys just like, it just click one day? Like, I don't know, you're like, plunge in a toilet and you're like, yo, dude, we should do our own thing. Like, what was that conversation like?
Well, it was more like, again, like we've before the whole plumbing thing, we've been making music individually, and then he started working for the plumbing company because I was going through the whole thing with my dad, and at the time he was already a friend, and we've already built up like a great friendship. We've already been boys for a long time. So then I was like, and he saw that I was going through that, and at the opportunity I was like, yo, I could use some help. Do you want to be a plumber and help us? And you know, sure enough, he was on board with that, and then as we were working together and as he was showing up every day, I think before that, even then, we were already like talking about like, you know, hey, we should just make music, because I already have a home studio, just kind of like how this is all set up. But you know, I have a home studio all set up like that too, and we would just work on music.
Just have fun.
We just have fun, exactly. Just have
let
some
the beats
play
roll,
yeah.
and oh shit, you got something right.
Sweet. So you got your own studio.
Yeah.
So you're recording music pretty much all the time, and
Yeah.
any idea you have, you're just laying it down, right?
Trying to.
So what about like distribution? How has that been for you guys?
It's been pretty tough. I mean, we have to like make some certain things. Like we're trying to like just put some stuff on down on wax right now just to get it out there. But we have things on TuneCore through TuneCore and on you know
Spotify and
social-
Pandora
exactly.
and iTunes Music and iHeartRadio, all types of stuff.
So let me ask you this: you guys do anything on TikTok?
No.
Why?
You know, I personally just have never. I've seen it, I've heard it, and I don't know. I mean, I've never heard, I guess, of many artists using that a lot. I know people use it to kind of sing along with other other people's stuff, but not an actual artist using it.
Well, here's my the reason why I'm bringing it up is because if you know anything about what we've done, if you know anything about like a lot of different artists, you think they're overnight people, but they've been doing their thing for a long time before they actually make it, right? And what I've learned more often than not is you need to place yourself in a position where you have the most opportunities as possible, right?
Of course.
So TikTok, for example, it's a music-based social media app, right? And like you said, they sing along stuff. But if you're creating pieces of content that are fun with little pieces of music, people start to recognize who you are. People start to repeat the sound that you make. Right? And right now, a lot of those kids are, I don't know, between 9 and 15 years old. Yeah. But as you continue to produce content.
And they have time to do all these things, though. Like They have time every day to do all these, spend hours on making these videos.
Right. But I'm just saying you're sharing your music so that they can make those videos.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And all of a sudden, like it's an additional thing. Like it might take off for the stupidest reason, you never know. But now your track has been played over and over again. Now people are like, who are these guys?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. For me, it's like different opportunities to be able to put information out. Like, I was listening. You guys know who Gary Vee is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you heard Gary Vee say that the next hip hop artist, one of the next big ones, is going to be somebody who puts out music every single day. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine if you put out one song every single day, 365 songs.
Well, it's kind of like the same thing that Russ did. Russ was putting out consecutively songs every week.
Yeah.
So, and that's what he did, because nowadays nobody wants to buy, an album with 10 songs on it. They don't want to just go ahead and get that one song that they like and just play that song. So it's like, why spend so much time putting out an album that no one's going to really appreciate it once it drops? So you might as well just put out songs on a daily basis. Right. But see, here's the thing. That's what we both try to do. But with the whole plumbing thing, since that's our day job and we're the only ones doing the plumbing company, it gives us not much time to go home and lay that down.
Oh, 100%. Dude.
So
I agree with that.
And he just had a baby girl.
Yeah. Congratulations!
So shout out Kaylani,
Kaylani.
Yeah.
We almost named our daughter Kaylani.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That was one of the names that my wife wanted.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but we ended up going with Mila. So close, kind of.
But see, it does all these things with life is catching up. Doesn't really give us much opportunity to do what we should be doing.
Oh, 100%, dude. But it's like anything else. Like, for us, the only reason why we've ever achieved any amount of success is that consistency factor. We're on here 5 days a week. Like, every single day we're putting something out.
Well, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and for you guys, I mean, you're going to put out music. If you put out a song a week or a song a day or whatever it is, like he was saying, you put out 360 songs in a year, and 330 of them are going to be trash. But maybe 30 of them are going to be like something that catches on, and you can always take bits and pieces of all those different pieces and make them better, right? But you're always putting out content.
I mean, for me, it's tough to put out content that I'm not happy with. So I couldn't put out trash. Like, I couldn't put out even if people were like, "Yo, Barger, I want to hear you every fucking day." Look, man, if I don't got the right stuff to put out, then you're not gonna hear from me.
That's true. Well, and maybe I said that wrong. It's not like it's trash. It could be any song. You can have a song that's like a #1 hit, and somebody's gonna say that song's trash. Like you know what I mean? Right? They don't like it.
That's their
difference.
Because I could probably take that same song and go down to the club and be like, "Yo, do you like this song?" And they'd be like, "Yo, this thing's actually pretty dope."
Yeah, go on to the next club next door, and they're like, "Nah, that's trash."
There's trash. Yeah. But exactly. But I mean, then if that's the base, if I start getting a trend of saying everyone's saying, "Yo, this is trash," maybe I should probably do something about that.
Yeah, I would.
Like, if I start going down online and saying, "Yo, man, what the hell you put this up for?" I'm like, "Yo, maybe we should take this shit down."
Yeah. But I know we have these conversations all the time. It's all about just kind of like our portfolio, having a lot in our articles so everybody can see not just a couple of songs. Like you said, if you could put out a lot almost every day or every week, that's the goal. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to check that TikTok out.
Yeah, for real.
You got it. It's just, I know it's mainly for a little kid thing, but the reach that you get on there, like many of you guys got. Yeah, see the light. Told you.
I was like,
imagine if those blinds were up.
Yeah, it'd be a whole different ball game.
No,
but so the whole TikTok thing, like my kids are on it. They love doing little TikTok stuff, and that's cool. That's great. But the reach that you're getting on there right now is huge. Like, if you post a song like on Facebook or you post it on Instagram, like it's not gonna reach every single person that follows you. It's just not designed that way because they want you to buy ads so they can get more reach that way, right? Mm-hmm. But right now with TikTok and LinkedIn, I mean, you're getting organic reach that's huge. And for you guys are in the music industry, like TikTok should be like your #1 thing. You should be putting stuff out like on the rate. Like once you have a track laid down, then you do some corny little thing and it catches on. You never know. I mean, dude, you see the Kiki dances like in the car. Like I'm telling you, it's weird stuff, but it takes that song to a whole nother level.
Well, we let our fans do all that stuff. We have people sending our videos of us like them like bumping out and doing all things like that. We're more. I'm telling you, our time is so taking up with what we got going on that I probably didn't even have time to do something like that.
on a, but you know what?
Well, I mean, about literally, I would do plumbing, and then what I would do is I would come from the studio and I would get in the booth and I'd be working with homeboy until we get out, and then what we gotta do is we gotta do photo shoots for that. We gotta do album covers for that, and then on top of that, we don't have to worry about on calls coming in and going to work. So we might be halfway through a session, and I may get a text from my dispatching team and be like, "Yo, Bargy, you gotta go to this call now," and I gotta stop everything that I'm doing and switch on and go work on work mode, and then try to come back and be creative again right when I'm trying to think of right when I'm on my peak of thinking. It's like nah, it doesn't work that way.
I agree. My only thing is, but that's what you love to do.
No, of course, and I'm not complaining in any single way, but I'm just saying like that's more of our time taking up. What we're trying to do is make good content, make good music, so that y'all can make little parodies and all y'all little like cute videos that y'all enjoy doing because you playing our music and make you feel that way.
I like that.
And so it's something to vibe to, it's something to connect to. Like that's the whole reason of music. Music's a beautiful thing. The whole reason why we make music is because we like to do it to relieve stress and also to express ourselves. Because him and I, growing up, we never maybe been the type of an individual to express ourselves. We've always been amongst friends who kind of, steer the direction for us. And then now we're the ones going like, you know what, fuck this. We're doing things ourselves. We're being loud about ourselves. We're going to make our own presence, our own decisions, our own things known.
How did you guys decide to do that? Like, I mean, you just described yourselves being super introverted, right? Super like, I'm just kind of following everything that's going on.
Right.
When did you decide like, I'm done following, I'm gonna start leading?
Shit. I mean, maybe I got into a lot of fights in like high school and stuff. Like I got expelled freshman year, and I think that was probably about when. I mean, being a little bit like you said, kind of nicer and just letting stuff slide. And then people, they really they take your kindness for weakness, and that's when I realized about freshman year or so. And then after, it still took me a while. I'm 22 now, so it took me a while to get my head in gear and actually know where I'm trying to go or have a goal in life. But what was your question?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna deviate a little bit because you kind of answered my question.
Yeah.
But like, 22 years old, it's not that far from when you graduated high school. I mean, it's still it's 3, 4, 5 years away, 4 or 5 years ago. So like, what do you mean by like it's easier to let things go? Like what type of things were like your triggers before that put you in a position, and how do you think you've overcome those triggers?
Well, triggers is like I guess when you get out of your bag, people disrespect you or people say certain things and, they want to get a reaction out of you. But realizing that you can be who you are. It doesn't matter what anybody says, doesn't matter what they think, as long as you're doing you and you're happy about it. And you're not messing up other people's days. You're just doing you, and then keep to it. And just realizing that, taking a stand that it's not about getting out of your bag, because then that's letting the other person or letting them win. When you got to be the winner, you got to be in control of your decisions, because at the end of the day, lies controls lies. So I don't care what anybody says, and that's what it is just growing, being more self-confident, self-aware, and self-respecting, knowing my worth.
So you think it was when you would get in a fight or when you would let people get under your skin, you think it's something that you grew out of with maturity, or you think it was like somebody that said something to you? What do you think it was?
Nah, it was maturity, because when you like that, you're a little stubborn. You don't want to listen to what somebody says. So what anybody says to you, that's not gonna stray your thoughts. It's really you going through it and knowing what life decisions you make and what consequences you have. And just knowing that life is bigger. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than, they want me to react and, get out of my bag. But nah, I'm like, we trying to make music. I'm trying to be great. I'm trying to make millions. So it's bigger than that. It's bigger than somebody trying to piss me off,
You don't got time for that.
I don't got time for that. I got time for my baby girl and my family and my bro.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were talking earlier about Nipsey, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know the exact whole story. All I know is that he grew up hard, and then he finally decided to start making a change and doing things on a positive note, and then cut short. You ever worry about like your past coming back to haunt you?
Shit, we were just talking about that. You could worry about it, but then you're just gonna be crazy.
Exactly.
You just gotta go forward, because everybody got a past. Everybody got skeletons in their closet. You just gotta bury it. just keep move on, change your life. I mean, if you keep doing stuff like the skeletons that's in your closet, then yeah, it's always gonna stay in your mind. But if you keep doing positive, keep progressing, you're fine. Just
100%.
focus on that.
How did you switch your introvert to an extrovert?
Well, I feel like, to better say what we both are doing, I feel like we both were born like with this kind of state of mind, but it took these lessons to wake up and be aware of what we were born to do. Does that make sense? I feel like how you were talking about Nipsey, like when did he change? I feel like I don't know the man. I never met the man, so I can't speak on him.
Yeah.
But from me really kind of listening to what he said in his interviews and me watching, it seemed like he's already had that intention. It just took a lot of life lessons to get there. And I feel like the same thing with me. Like I've already had this intention to do these things because I'm 27. I'm like 5 years older than him. So I've had a little bit more time to think and grow and be like, yo, maybe this isn't what I need to be doing. But it's the same similarity. That's why we click so well, is because we weren't, like we didn't have the best friendship growing up. Like we knew of each other, but I was also I was more of his older brother because of what's going on at the time with who we were all like hanging out with. But that grew to be a different thing because of like the whole respect. And also just being like, hey, like, life lessons and being aware of all these, ugly things that we shouldn't be doing for ourselves. It makes you realize because you get the opposite end of it. And then you're like, whoa, man, that's, maybe I shouldn't have done that because look what I just put myself through. Mm-hmm. And was it worth it? No. And because you're trying to be something else. And now you got all your reputation of people thinking of you one way. And now you're trying to be something that you're not. And now it's like going against everything that people think of you. So it's like, no, I'm not this person. I'm not that way. I got to be myself because even though you might have seen me with a crowd doing some stupid shit, that's not really who I am. I had to go through that to realize that I'm a bigger person than that. So I'm a stubborn motherfucker. Like, I have to learn the hard way.
Sometimes you do, dude.
So I got to go through it to learn it.
To be fair, some of the most successful people are very stubborn. So
right.
That might not be a bad thing. But I wanted to ask you guys. So you have two worlds that you're really involved in right now. You have
three. Family,
right?
Non-stop.
Family's never gonna end.
Exactly.
But you have your business side, and then you have the hip hop side.
Yes.
Right. And each of them has a different perspective or look. Of
course.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you guys balance, and how well is it balancing, or what problems are you having, having the hip hop persona, but then also trying to run a plumbing business at the same time?
Well, it's like we're not trying to be all like disrespectful, like as in, see, new age hip hop, they're taking everything out of proportion. They're making everything bad. They're rapping about drugs. They're rapping about all this stuff that's
very disrespectful.
It's bullshit.
I'll be honest. It's been that way for a long time, since the 80s.
No, but it's different way of delivery. It's different. It's different level of meaning. Different level of actually kind of.
They make like people our age look like idiots. They make them like they don't respect themselves.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, that's the persona I was saying. Like, how's that? If you, for example, went to go do a plumbing job and it's a 65-year-old white male that you're doing a plumbing job for, and
yes sir, no sir.
No, not 100%. Yeah. But at the same time, like you have that hip hop culture. Like, has it ever like conflicted at all?
No, you're in your work shirt, so. I'm not Lige. I mean, you could call me Lige, but like my boy. But I'm Elijah. Yes, sir. Exactly. What do you need done? You get the job done and get out of there.
Yeah, because we can't. I mean, we're in a company. We're standing for something. You can't be getting in trouble doing that kind of stuff. Because one, you put the company at risk. Mm-hmm. You can't be doing that.
That's when it's bigger than that. It's just humbling. Bigger than us. You gotta be. You gotta know, like, get in line. Yeah, there is no. I mean, of course. I mean, nobody's perfect, but there is no. The hip hop doesn't come in between, it doesn't. Yeah.
No, I it's one of the questions I've always got to ask, because it's funny. Like, I teach, I have business, whatever. But if you look on my Spotify list, it's like M and Drake, and it's super like I have like some gangster ass stuff on my stuff, right? So I was just saying, like, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. So it never jives. Like, if what you see in front of you isn't the same person as the music that I like to listen to. Right. And I don't know, I have always liked that sound of I had nothing, I developed something, and look at me now. Like, I've always liked that story, and it doesn't matter where the story is. I don't care if you're talking Jeff Bezos from Amazon, or if you're talking Jay-Z, or if you're talking Eminem. I don't care. Like, I like that story.
Well, yeah, it's a mentality.
It's a mentality.
I feel like it's like the hustler's mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
But that guy over there, look at his Spotify. It's all country. right? But we grew up in the same household.
Right.
So, you know,
Those
music.
preferences. That's a beautiful
It's
thing.
just
Music is
right.
all preferences.
Yeah, music speaks to you the way it's gonna speak to you.
Exactly.
I just, you know, each one has its own persona to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
So
of
that's
course,
why I had to ask.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just, you know, I guess we're getting used to balancing it, just knowing that that's life. And I mean, people may not always like hip hop or something, but that's not gonna affect me because, I mean, that it's not their. It doesn't affect me. It's not
That's
their.
what
It's
I
not
like.
their problem. Yeah, that's what I like.
That's what I like to do.
Shit,
so.
I may like the color green. They like the color orange. I mean, it is what it is.
Exactly. Guys, dude, thanks for coming on the show. Like, really appreciate you guys, like, and being, like, super honest.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's always, it's always cool to get to know people.
Yeah.
That, especially when you have these two, like, you have a huge dynamic between a lot of the guests that I've had on the show. One part is you run and operate a business, like a legit plumbing company where
Yeah.
you
Yep.
come in and
My
service
father
people
did.
on
He
a regular
worked- yeah.
on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
And so that's one life. But what I really liked about you is we got to talk about that other life.
Yeah.
Like, this is the dream, this is the ambition, this is where things that I
That's
want to
where
go.
we can be us.
That's where you can be you,
That's where
and
you
that's
be
where
us.
you're spending every waking, breaking hour outside of work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And there's a lot of people out there, I think, that have that passion. Like, they maybe they go to their 9 to 5 and it's a grind and they don't really like it, right? It's not what they really want to do for the rest of their lives,
Right.
but they're too scared to go out and do that thing that they do love.
Because
That
they're scared
passion.
of failure. See, here's my thing is, like, I love plumbing. I love working with my hands. I know that I could do plumbing when I'm 40 because nobody wants to hear me rap when I'm 40. You know, and I mean,
Do they?
No, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna. I know that I could always have that as more like a back burner. I could always
Mhm.
have that as like a safety net because that's one thing that's really established and my dad worked really hard to do, and I really enjoy doing. But that's what he left me to do, and I want to see what I can create for my
Mhm.
family to do. But in the same time, not lose or leave behind what he did, because I don't want to do any kind of disrespectful thing to him, because that's
Right.
you know that's pops.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it has, aside from paying your bills, it has a sentimental value to
No,
it.
of course, exactly,
right?
and that's why it's a family business, and that's why I love. Shout out to all the family business out there in San Diego.
Dude, and I love that. Have you ever thought of doing like some theme music for your own company?
Nah. We want to keep it different. That's the part where I'd say it keeps it a little bit separate because I don't want people. I don't want to deteriorate the integrity of the company because hip hop, like you said, people think of hip hop so just they don't like it just because I say hip hop. They're like, oh, okay, because they initially think of all the bad songs that they've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to judge me and judge my company and judge my family because of something like music like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like because we're not. My dad was so much more of a stronger integrity guy. Like that's not. I'm not gonna let something like that happen to him like that, or the company like that.
Love that. Here's my line in the sand. It's
Exactly.
drawn.
That's
I'm
what,
not
exactly.
gonna
That's
cross
what
it.
Exactly.
That's cool though. That's cool. So you guys got anything coming out recently or anything that
This man's got some singles
Yeah,
coming
I got
out.
some singles in the work.
which camera should we let him look at?
I got some singles coming out too.
That guy right there. All right, take a look at the camera. Tell people what they
Lije.
should be looking for.
Y'all should be looking for the newest drop, Anything For It, and Leaving. Yeah, it's going to be coming soon. And my old boy, he got some stuff in the works too.
What you got?
I got a little EP coming out. I'm still working on the name of it, but it's just a little 7-song, just real quick, just gonna drop it. But I'm dropping it every weekend. So it's gonna
Nice.
be kind of like a lagged out, tailed off thing. But you'll be hearing it from me soon. My name is Dubz Barger, and I love music and I appreciate this. Business Bros is what's up.
Yeah,
Dude.
thank y'all.
Yeah, man, I'm
Appreciate
glad we met. Like, I mean, the number of different people and personalities that you meet at expos like that is crazy.
Yeah, it is
and I'm
crazy.
telling
A
you,
lot of
people have, that other side, that passion side, and I talk about it all the time. Like, I used to talk about helping people get to retirement, and now I'm like, scratch retirement. You need to figure out what makes you happy,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Do
figure
that
out how
for the rest of your
to
life.
figure out how to be able to make money off that, so you can do that for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because
Damn right.
that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Everything else is
Be
just
happy.
just be happy,
Exactly.
right? That's all it's about. So, big ups to you guys. I'm proud to see that you guys are doing your thing and that you're taking all that time.
Yeah.
Congrats on being a dad.
Thank you very much.
It's one of the coolest things. Also,
it's
one
a
of the most
blessing.
stressful and time-consuming things. I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. It's beautiful.
This is true. This
I
is
love
true.
my daughter, dude. She's 10, but whoo, lots of time, and then It's only gonna get worse when they hit teenagers, dude. I already know. I teach 17-year-old girls. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's all good. We gonna wait for that.
We gonna wait for that for sure. All right,
But
ladies.
I'll be ready.
Yeah. I'll be ready. Cleaning my gun. That's what I told her. Anyway, I'll give you the 3 rules that I've told my daughter about dating. You ready? So you can use these 2. She can bring home any guy she wants as long as he is more handsome than daddy, smarter than daddy, and makes more money than daddy. You find that guy, you bring him home. All right? Any other guy? Well, you know what the answer to that is? She goes, Dad, there's nobody like that. I know, baby, but we got to set the bar somewhere.
Exactly.
We got to set the bar somewhere.
There's some sort of standards there.
So there you go. Engrave that one. And then my other piece of advice, never make a promise you can't keep. So with my kids, like, they know if dad says we're going to do something, like, we do it. I don't care how tired I am. Like, it happens. And so far, it's like the trust factor is huge. 9, 10 years old. So if you can't do it, just don't say you're going to do it. Cause it's like, yeah, we'll do it later. Like, just stick to it. Just make sure, they understand, like, I can't make you a promise, but if we have time, we'll do this. Or yes, I promise you we're going to do that. And make sure you use that promise and stick to those. Because I think it makes a huge difference. Like, my wife, on the other hand, she does a lot of great stuff with the kids, but they don't always believe what she's going to say because she doesn't always stick to it. Oh, right? And so it's she's by all means, she's the boss of the house anyways, right? But that's that little bit of advice. Like, that's all I can give as far as parenting. Every kid's going to be different. Right. They don't come with a manual, huh?
No, not at all.
I don't even know how. So
you could Google all the stuff you want.
It don't matter. It don't matter, dude. So don't worry about making mistakes. We all make mistakes. Figure it out as you go. But those are the 2 things that I set for my daughter anyways.
All right.
I
appreciate
good luck,
that.
man.
No taking.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gents, 365 pairs of shoes is what we're shooting for. So if you got new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And if you are in the mortgage industry, ladies and gentlemen, we want to help get you some more checks. I'm the type of person who likes to cut a check to people like you. So if you have a book of business and you want to get another income stream, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com so we can tell you how you can do that. It's easy. I want to cut you a check. You get the check. It's done. It's something already involved in whatever you're already doing anyways on a day-to-day. So hit us up and find out more. That's all we got for you guys today. Oh, I got one more, huh? DroneQuote.net. In a few days, I'm going to have that song finished and we're going to drop the parody for them. So in the meantime, if you're thinking of solar, because it's hot out there, you want to turn on the AC, you want to plug in your Tesla, make sure you guys go to dronequotes.net/business bros so that you can get solar done easy. Stop getting all stressed out about sitting with solar people in your house for like 2 hours doing that presentation. You ever have one of those?
No.
Oh, dude, these suck.
Fortunately not.
Luckily, because you're going to go to dronequote.net. That's what you're going to do. And then get solar that way. All right, that's all we got for you guys now. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out.
Late.
See you, Facebook. Thanks for everybody for joining us for round 2.
One. Let's hit this one.